discussing. So if there are, or if there are, yeah, we'll have to wait till it starts because this is a different thing. But if there are, we'll have to move depending on where they sit. If they sit over there, then we'll move over here because now the camera will be important. It's so weird seeing myself walking. So we'll
Hello, everyone.
Good evening, everyone. Can everyone hear me? All right, good. All right. Good evening. Welcome to the City of West Hollywood's Trans Day of Remembrance, brought to you by the Transgender Advisory Board of the City of West Hollywood. I am Armani Day. My pronouns are he, him. I am a board member on the City of West Hollywood's Trans Advisory Board.
And I, and I am Blossom Brown. I am the vice chair of the Transgender Advisory Board of the City of West Hollywood.
Thank you all for coming. We know that today is a somber event, but it's also one where we want to honor and celebrate trans and non-binary community as a whole. Now, there's no judgment here, and we want you to express your grief how you need to. You are surrounded by community, so you can stay and be surrounded by community, or you can step out if you need to. In just a moment, we'll kick off the event, but we first wanted to introduce and give an opportunity for the City Council to speak. I'll now introduce Mayor Seppi Shine.
I need to read this first. Hold on, sorry, hold on, just a second. Forgot to read my part. Before we begin this ceremony, we have an important message that involves clear-cut transparency in memory of our siblings who have passed. To those of you who come here in unity, peace, love, sadness, healing, intention to always be an accomplice, thank you. We see you. We love you. We mourn together. We celebrate together, and we support together. Thank you for standing with us and our siblings, who are now our transcestors. For those of you with other intentions, unseen, it is important that we say this. As we move into a politically charged year ahead, it's important that we remind you that performative solidarity is not welcomed here, especially in the memory of our trans and non-binary siblings. Performative solidarity to get votes, photo ops, starve us even, while not standing with trans and non-binary people who are living and breathing, is an act of violence to the memory of all of our trans and non-binary siblings who are no longer here. The phone calls have gone unanswered. The text messages responses has stopped. We see you because we can only hear from you during an election year. Don't use us for your votes. Our lives can no longer afford it. As you can see, you're sitting here right with us today. Respectfully, in the memory of our trans and non-binary siblings, if you have come just for that, you may stand up and kindly walk out the door, exit stage middle, because the rights and the lives of all trans and non-binary people can't afford you being here and performing solidarity any longer.
Thank you, Blossom. I will now introduce Mayor Seppi Shine.
Thank you to everyone who is here tonight. I'd like to acknowledge my colleagues that are here this evening, Councilmember Lauren Meister and Councilmember Chelsea Byers. I'd like to give a big acknowledgement to the city's Transgender Advisory Board, who helped organize tonight's ceremony, and your board and activism, and the space that you take up in our city is essential, and we value you, we see you, and we have gratitude for all of you. Tonight we gather to memorialize the victims of transphobic violence. Over the past year, 392 trans people have been murdered around the world that we know of. Sadly, many of these deaths go unreported or are misgendered by family members or the press, either willingly or unwillingly. In the US, over the last year, at least 62 transgender and gender nonconforming people have been killed, most of them Black and brown transgender women. Tonight, we will honor them. Earlier this year, the City of West Hollywood adopted a resolution declaring the City of West Hollywood as a sanctuary city for transgender people. We continue to look for ways to support our transgender community. I've been coming to T-Door now for years, before as a member of the Human Rights Campaign, and the past few years as an elected official. As an elected official, as part of the LGBTQ community, I am so frustrated. I am so frustrated for our transgender community and our siblings, because every year we come to mourn horrific murders of trans folks, gender nonconforming folks, non-binary folks. And since 2016, the amount of violence has increased towards the transgender community like never before. The amount of laws right now that have been passed and that the extreme religious right is trying to pass against the transgender community is appalling. It is extremely sad, and it's so important that as cis folks, we stand together with our transgender community in solidarity, and truly, as Blossom said, as accomplices. Tonight, tomorrow, every day moving forward towards the next election and the next election after that, I really, really appreciate all of you for showing up, and it's important that we continue to show up and be there for each other, especially our transgender community. Tonight we remember those that have been killed, and we recommit ourselves to ending transphobia, violence, and discrimination against transgender and gender nonconforming individuals. I want to now call up my colleagues, council members Lauren Meister and Chelsea Byers, for them to say a few words.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Lauren Meister, and I appreciate you being here this evening on this cold and windy night. And I see Councilmember John Heilman has joined us, and I want to also acknowledge former council member Abby Land, who is also with us this evening. Thank you. I've been attending these events for many years, and I have to say that it just takes something out of your heart. It's heartbreaking to be at this event, and my hope is that in the coming years we don't have this event because there is 0 deaths, there are 0 murders, and that when we do come together, it is to celebrate victories for the transgender community rather than horrific events like the ones that we are acknowledging this evening. So I just want to thank you for being here and for always being here, and let's hope that in 2024 we don't have the events that we have had this year. Thank you.
Good evening. I'm Councilmember Chelsea Byers. I'm standing with you all in sadness and grief. It's tremendous, the extraordinary experiences that we're uplifting today. And I just want to acknowledge the vast spectrum of violence the transgender community has experienced, the physical violence, but erasure as part of that spectrum, dead naming as part of that spectrum, workplace discrimination as part of that spectrum. And all of this is part of the work that we have to continue to end. I'm very happy to see so many people here tonight and know that this room extends so beyond this to the folks watching at home. Thank you to everyone for holding this space, and may we continue to do so.
Thank you, Chelsea. Thank you all for being here. It's really important that we commemorate the people we've lost from our community, but it's also very important for us to recognize that our community is under attack. And it continues to be under attack by right-wing politicians. It continues to be under attack. And part of the reason we're under attack is because of the progress we've made. We should also recognize that we've made a lot of progress, that there are a lot of transgender people who are open and honest and who are living their complete lives. And I see it every day when I teach my law students. I have openly trans students, something that you wouldn't have seen in law school 20 years ago. So let's focus on commemorating the people that we've lost, but let's also focus on the progress that we have made and that we need to continue to make so that everyone can live fully, freely, and safely. Thank you for being here.
Thank you so much, Mayor Sepishan, and thank you so much, City Council. We now like to welcome our host, Jasmine Creighton.
Good evening, everyone. How are you doing tonight? Excellent. My name is Jasmine Nikela Creighton. I'm gender fierce. I use feminine pronouns, and it is honor, and it's my privilege to be asked to come back here a second year. Thank you, Moya. Thank you, City Council. Thank you, Trans Advisory Board of West Hollywood. We've heard a lot of, folks speak from their heart and express, how they feel, but I want to tell you a personal story. So one of the people you're going to see on the screen tonight was a client of mine. Her name is Devani Ray Johnson. She was shot and murdered by a security guard at Ralph's at Western Hollywood Boulevard. And I was called in by the police to witness the murder on videotape. It was devastating. But in saying that, after I finished watching, I was told that the reason they blacked out the security guard's face was because he was a victim as well. And I challenged that. I was like, how could someone that's, possessing a gun, a loaded gun, a security guard at a supermarket, how are they the victim? Because this young child is dead. And just so you know, her birthday was the day before. She lived at my house, Casa Zuma. Casa Zuma is a bridge housing program here in Los Angeles, the first of its kind in the nation, specifically for trans women. It's right there in the Pico Union area. Every single day and night, 365 days, 7 days a week, 24 hours a day, a trans woman is navigating through that program, trying, thriving, being challenged, right? By living with a community. It can be very challenging. But doing the best they can with where they're at. One thing that is super special about this night tonight is that the count is lower. Everybody that we're gonna see tonight has so much value and love. There is one name you're not gonna see. Her name is Alexia. Alexia worked at the Trans Latina Coalition. She was imprisoned at Chino Prison. She got out and got services. We outreached to her there. She got services, and she worked at Trans Latina Coalition. And when she was done, I ran into her on the street and told her, hey, look, if you need another gig, you let me know. And her last gig was working for Hopix at Casa Zuma as a case manager. She was found unresponsive by her cousin in Simi Valley, in their home. Thank you for traveling wherever you came from in the ethers and the universe to be here to honor these individuals' lives. I don't want to estimate your journey and, people that you might be witnessing tonight that you personally know. We held a vigil for Devani in front of that rouse, and her mother and uncle and aunt flew in from Oklahoma. Because Devani, like all of us, had a dream. She came here because she wanted to be a star. She wanted to be in movies and TV. I just have to take a moment. This is the 24th year that they've had Tidor, but 25 years since Rita Hester, right? The woman that passed. It's been 25 years. So we just want to hold sacred space for her soul, her body, her spirit, right? Just remember that. I'm going to move along in this program. I'm going to invite you to sit back and experience the talents, the beauty, and the voice of Miss Tiana, who will be performing two song selections for you tonight. Please welcome Tiana.
How y'all doing? Okay. Oh, talk to me. Oh, 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 talk to me. alone in a room. It's just me and you. I feel so lost, and I don't know what to do. Now what if I choose the wrong thing to do? I'm so afraid of disappointing you. So I need to talk to you and ask you for your guidance, especially today when my mind is so cloudy. Guide me until I am sure I open up my heart. Oh yeah, oh yeah. My hopes and dreams are fading fast, and I'm all burnt out, and I don't think my strength's gonna last. So I'm crying out to you, Lord. I know that you're the only one who is able to pull me through. So you know I need to talk to you and ask you for your guidance, especially today when my mind is so cloudy. Guide me until I am sure. That's why I open up my heart. You're the lover of my soul, the captain of my sea. I need a word from you. That's why I open up my heart. Thank you. This next song is a song I wrote, and it's titled S and D. It's a song that I wrote for trans empowerment and, just fighting back, against society's projections and their norms and how they think that we should present. And I just pretty much wrote this song to let the people know, honey, y'all gonna accept me for who I am, and I refuse to be anything less than who I am. So I hope you enjoy. Oh, and it's on iTunes and all streaming platforms. Go get it. Just wanna wake up and get my cake up. Don't wanna be flooded with perceptions from the world. Am I a boy or a girl or anything in between? Put some respect on my name, I'm a fucking femme queen. Don't wanna do my hair in my athleisure wear. Just wanna have a banging body in some Skims. Might wanna wear some Timbs and a trench coat. Just wanna feel dope like the goats. You should know. Sneaker and a dress type girl. Girl. Oh, I'm a sneaker and a dress type girl. All me, no Philly. Can I still be pretty? I'm a sneaker and a dress type girl. Girl. I'm a sneaker and a dress type girl. Just me, yeah, really. Can I still be pretty? I'm a sneaker and a dress type girl. 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 one day will be simply enough. Don't gotta jeopardize our livelihood or health. Living life in stealth, can't change the cards it's dealt. You angry, get some help. Still angry, get some help. I fucking love myself. That's right, I love myself. I'm a bad bitch, can't nobody tell me different. Different for the win. Don't tell me I'm a sin. I'll be glad when this shit end. I'm a sneaker and a dress type girl. Girl. I'm a sneaker and a dress type girl. All me, no Philly. Can I still be pretty? I'm a sneaker and a dress type girl. Woo! Woo! All me, no Philly. Can I still be pretty? I'm a sneaker and a dress type girl. Girl, dress type girl. Can I still be pretty? All me, no Philly. Sneaker, dress girl. Once again, my name is Tiana Trends. Thank you so much for having me, and I hope y'all enjoyed.
Thank you, Tiana. Your whole spirit is a celebration of inspiration and love. We thank you, Tiana Trends. Thank you for being here tonight. Wow, that was amazing. Wow, that was really great. And I love that song. I open my heart to you. Yes. We're going to move along with the program, and I'm going to welcome up someone that is a pillar in the community. She has withstood the test of time. She was one of the first ladies that I've ever known to be out in community providing sexual health and information to make sure that the community was well equipped with the information and armed with whatever they needed to stay healthy and to thrive and survive. You know, I always say love is invisible and we make it visible. And this lady is a true representation of love. Please welcome Miss Valerie Spencer.
Hi, everybody. I'm Reverend Valerie Spencer. I'm the founder and director of Holistic Empowerment Institute, and I bring you greetings tonight. Tonight, I'm here to offer some reflections, both from a personal space and from the space of a community leader, a community aunt, a sister, a community member, and someone who is awful sick of watching the senseless death that's occurring within trans communities, within trans women and trans femmes, queer people as well. I have to bring myself into the space, if I may. I think about what would these ladies have encountered if they had a great beginning, if they had a great start, if they had a home life where people loved them unconditionally. Parents that surrounded them with care and celebrated their burgeoning womanhood, encouraged their change, knowing that it was a part of the truth, even as they let their own fantasies of what their children would be go. What would my sisters be? Who would they be? How would they be better equipped to navigate life's challenges, their challenges, create a whole new social culture, a whole new world and way of being if they would have had a great start? Many trans women have had to encounter violence because they've had to run away. They've had to face life early on. Studies show that women of color transition early, but were put out early as well than our white counterparts. What would their life be if they were not put out? What would their life be if they had a mother who loved them unconditionally and told them how great and powerful and special they were. What new memories could they create for themselves? What cancer developments, what AIDS treatments might they be if they had a great beginning? Tonight, as I mourn the loss of my beloved sisters who have shuffled off the physical experience into something new, I must confess, I am grieving the loss of my own mother today, my own start. My mother died exactly 2 months ago today. So even as I remember my beloved sisters, I remember the woman who gave me my place and my start. I wish for you, sisters, no matter where you may be, if you should begin again, I wish you the beginning that I was able to have. A woman from South Central Los Angeles that didn't know nothing about transness except that I was her daughter. A woman that gave me my first pair of shoes and my first shot. What would they be if they had a love like that? I'd like to think that they would be powerful. I'm knowing that even though we honor them today, that they are powerful. I'm honoring not the way that they left, but the dynamic life and legacy and energy and vibration of transness that they left behind. You know, that's the secret to the hate. That is the secret to the disdain. That we omit a power of vibrational energy, a fuel like jet fuel that's itchy and scratchy to the skin because it's compelling and you can't turn away from it. That's why they don't like us so much, because they can't put us down, because we change the atmosphere. And then when you bring all of that beautiful ingenuity that many of these women just brought to the human dynamic, you can clearly see, as you will see their photographs in a little while, the power that they possess. I would invite you, as we remember tonight, to move the route of exit perhaps to the back and bring the dynamic gift of living to the forefront. For even as we honor our fallen tonight, we do not honor them in a mournful, sadful sorrow. We mourn them in a righteous, regal way, knowing the full occupancy of their power does not stop at their physical expression. Life is eternal. Life in this body, well, not so much. And so we honor tonight the dynamic gift that they leave behind, knowing that they themselves have not stopped. For energy does not dissipate. It merely changes form. And so we honor the form that they have been and that the form that they shall move into. I call it selfishly the allness of life. My mother, my Lulu, is with them tonight in that allness of life. Will you pray with me, please? I pray differently, so rock with me. You'll like the way I pray. Trust me, just soft gaze, you don't have to close. And so it is to this allness of life, this ever-generous, ever-present of itself spirit known by so many names, the Atman presence, Ra, Jah, Jesus, Yeshua, God, Spirit, the divine mind, the original cause, first source, called in so many ways, approached in so many different ways, and yet it is the one. It is the you. It is the me. It is the us. And in full transness, we are knowing that there is no separation. And so as we honor those who have left, we simply give thanks and grace and honor and even praise for bringing them our way. We ask you, O God, O ever-givingness of spirit, that you fuel us, amplify us, repurpose us, so that we can create the planet all the new. We are trying our best to be fruitful and multiply the all goodness of life rather than the hate. Oh God, fuel us up, for there are war drums beating even as I speak. Even as we mourn our losses, there are those poised and primed with power, with skin texture and color and privilege against us, ready to diminish our value and name us not present. I speak erasure to that energy. I speak a full dynamic knowing today that trans power is powerful. Trans intelligence is intelligent, and it cannot be stopped. Can we simply say amen? Amen. I'm going to give you a word, ashe, and so it is. Thank you for being with me and walking through this sort of ragtag recollection of grief and memory at the same time. I hope it gave you something, and if it didn't, don't tell anybody. God bless you.
Thank you, Reverend Valerie Spencer. Thank you very much. We're going to move along in the program. And if I could have community line up right here, we're going to do the reading of the names. So if you wouldn't mind taking the time to line up right here in this aisle. My deepest condolences to you, Valerie. I know how much you loved your mother. Everyone is welcome. Everyone is welcome. All right. I'm going to start off with the first name. Miss Tiffany Banks, age 25. Tiffany was shot and killed on Saturday, October 1st, 2022. The first day of the period covered by the Trans Day of Remembrance 2023. 4 days later, a man was arrested for her murder. Tiffany loved to sing and dance. Her family described her as the light that would brighten up anyone's darkest days.
Braden Snyder, age 15. Braden died by suicide, but is remembered by their family as a lover of music, art, and self-expression. Miles Fitzpatrick, age 17. Miles died by suicide after enduring severe bullying and harassment at school. After his death, his supportive family filed a lawsuit against the school for failing to act on the treatment he had received from other students.
Emma Borhanian. Emma was shot during a dispute and a suspect was arrested. There is very little information about her personal life that is publicly available, but tonight we honor her memory.
Adela Anderson, age 24. Adela died by suicide. She is remembered by her family as being very witty and a loving daughter and sister. Kelly Loving, age 40. Kelly was one of the 5 people killed at the Club Q shooting in Colorado. Friends described Kelly as a person who not only wanted her friends to shine, but also helped them shine. Witnesses at the shooting saw Kelly used her body as a shield to help save a young man's life.
Daniel Davis Aston, age 28. Daniel was one of 5 people killed at the Club Q shooting in Colorado. He was a bartender and an entertainer at the club, and many say that he always lit up a room, was always smiling, always happy, and always silly. Diamond Jackson McDonald, age 27. Diamond was found shot to death on the morning of November 24th, 2023. Diamond's mother says that Diamond was her rock, her shoulder, and that Diamond was very loved. No one has been arrested for her murder.
Dave Rodas. Dave's body was found on the roadside in the Santa Monica area. She worked for the community health program at the LGBT Center and is described by her sister as a most forgiving person who strongly advocated for LGBTQ rights. Morgan D. Morgan D. died by suicide. There is very little information about her personal life that is publicly available, but tonight we honor her memory.
Destiny Howard, age 23. Destiny's body was found in a parking lot. She had been shot in December of 2022. In August 2023, a person was arrested and charged with her murder. Marquise Jackson, age 33. Marquis' body was found in a backyard about 2 days after he had died from a physical attack. His friends say he was full of life and love, saying he would get to the party if the party started anywhere. He loved everybody. In March of this year, a suspect was arrested in connection with Marquis' murder.
Henry was a trans. I need help reading. Henry was a trans rights advocate who worked at the Human Rights Campaign at a lack of acceptance of the world contribute to his mental illness, and Henry took his own life, and his mother is a state senator in Kentucky, and she has opposed every anti-trans bill introduced in the country.
Kaylee Love Light, age 27. Kaylee died by gunshot wound in a car. Before dying, she fought back and killed her attacker. Kaylee loved to read and enjoy learning something new every day. She was also a religious and spiritual person who passionately defended non-binary and trans folks. Levi Martin, age 17. Oh God. Levi died by suicide. His family supported him and believes that a major reason for his death was Levi's fear over how society treats transgender people and the recent anti-trans bills in the US. He's remembered as a spunky, sassy, feisty, funny, intelligent, and kind always.
Gwen Gatewood, age 22. Gwen died by suicide. Her sister remembers Gwen as someone with an endearing personality and welcoming heart, who was brave, witty, compassionate, and strong. She was a light in every life she touched. Jasmine Mack, age 36. Jasmine was found dead from a stab wound. Jasmine's sister says that Jasmine had been attacked before her identity. She remembers Jasmine as someone who loved to sing gospel songs and was an excellent actress.
Casey Johnson, age 27. Casey was found dead in the Savannah River. Police arrested a suspect in her murder. Casey loved playing video games, vibing and relaxing to music. She loved playing Magic the Gathering. Manuel Turan, age 26. Known to their friends as Tortuguita or Little Turtle, Manuel was shot 57 times by police during a protest to stop the Cobb City training facility from being built in Atlanta's South River Forest. Manuel is remembered as a trained medic, a loving partner, a dear friend, a brave soul, and so much more. Despite the autopsy showing that Manuel was shot 57 times while they were sitting with their friends raised last month, the Georgia Bureau of Investigation said that it would not pursue criminal charges against the officers that killed Manuel. Olivia Snow, age 47. Olivia was a freelance makeup artist. She was found deceased in a hotel room by staff, and her death is currently under investigation by the NYPD. There is very little information about her personal life that is publicly available, but tonight we honor her memory.
Maria Jose Rivera. Maria was found dead in a murder-suicide committed by an intimate partner. She is remembered by her loved ones as lively, funny, and dynamic. Unique Banks, age 20. Unique and her mother were fatally shot during a home invasion in Chicago. 2 other trans women and her mother's boyfriend were also critically injured in the mass shooting. Ivory Nicole Smith, age 27. Ivory was found dead in her apartment in January. She was a well-known Black transgender activist and entrepreneur who served as a member of the Trans Advisory Committee with the San Francisco's Office of Transgender Initiatives. She is remembered as a brilliant leader in her community.
Ichimata Sashi, age 26. Sashi was shot outside her place of employment. The shooter, a man who worked for the same company, has been arrested. Her friends say she lived in Rwanda before coming to the United States, where all she wanted in life was to be herself. Cache Henderson, age 31. Cache's body was found in an apartment by firefighters investigating a fire. She had been shot dead before the fire was started. Police have arrested a man in connection with her murder. She is remembered as a bubbly spirit with a down-to-earth, tell-it-like-it-is personality. Caitlin Earhart, age 19. Caitlin died by suicide. Her friends say that her family did not accept her identity, and many have deleted her social media pages and information about her. As such, there is a very little information about her personal life that is publicly available. But tonight we honor her memory.
Kaylee Scott, age 25. Kaylee died of suicide. She worked as a flight attendant and had become well known after sharing her story on her airline social media. Taisha Woodland, age 18. Taisha was shot and killed earlier this year in March. Police arrested a man in connection with her death. She is remembered for being high-spirited and protective of those whose she loved. She loved to have a good time and was never too far from when you needed her. Ashley Burton, age 37. Ashley was a hairstylist and makeup artist in Atlanta who was shot outside her apartment building. A man has been arrested in connection with the shooting. She is remembered as a sweetheart. Mo Murr, age 18. Mo's body was found in the Ohio River and may have been a suicide. There's very little information about their personal life that is publicly available, but tonight we honor her memory.
Rashida Williams, age 35. Rashida Williams was a sex worker and performing artist, best known by her stage name Coco Dadal at Hollywood Coco. She was shot and killed in Atlanta. Williams started as a filmmaker, Dee Smith's latest documentary, Kokomo City. She's remembered as having a heart of gold who spread nothing but love and light to those she came across. Stephanie Petty, age 19. Stephanie died by suicide. She's remembered as a gifted debater and computer programmer who at age 10 built a working computer with her own hands. Banco Brown, age 24. Banco was shot and killed by an armed security guard at Walgreens in San Francisco. Banco had been involved with a nonprofit Young Women's Freedom Center since he was 12. Police arrested the security guard before releasing him without charge. When the video of the confrontation in which Banco died was released, the refusal to bring charges caused a public outcry. He's remembered for being funny and bold and helping everyone with what little resources he had.
Lakindra Andrews, age 26. Lakindra was murdered by gunshot in April 2023. Her identity as a trans woman only came to light in November 2023 as original news reports and obituaries completely erased her identity. There is very little information about her personal life that is publicly available, but tonight we honor her memory. Omi Gandhi, age 16. Omi was murdered by her abusive father. There is very little information about her personal life that is publicly available, but tonight we honor her memory. Nova June, age 14. Nova died by suicide after suffering from bullying and transphobia at school. There is very little information about their personal life that is publicly available, but tonight we honor their memory.
Cam Chamberlain. Cam might have died by suicide. According to her friends, Cam was a people person and someone who was as outspoken as she was happy and goofy. Maya Alana Lorraine Knight, age 20. Maya died by suicide. The following month, her legacy was honored at Yuba City, California's first ever Love is Love Pride Walk. She's remembered for being a dancer, a singer, and for having an unapologetic attitude. Ashia Davis, age 34. Ashia's body was found in the hotel where she was staying. She's remembered for being full of joy, devoted to her faith, and being a loving dog mom to a Yorkie named Clyde.
Chanel Perez Ortiz, age 29. Chanel's body was found with gunshot wounds along a highway. She worked as a cosmetologist and was keenly interested in fashion. Michelle Dion Peacock, aged 59. Michelle was a cisgender woman who had survived cancer. She was killed by a neighbor who disliked her because she believed she was trans. Her murder shows how anti-trans hate creates so much violence and agony in our society. Jacob Williamson, age 18. Jacob was killed by a man he had arranged to meet on a date. That man has been arrested. Jacob lived in South Carolina and worked at a local Waffle House and was beloved by co-workers. One of his co-workers had recently taken Jacob in after he was forced to leave his home for being transgender.
Colin Smith, age 32. Colin was not trans himself, but he was killed while defending a transgender friend from an attack. The murderer has been arrested. He is the second cisgender person killed in the U.S. in a transphobic attack this year. Colin is remembered as a good and kind person who loved his friends unconditionally. Fernielle Mary Mora, age 26. Fernielle was found dead in her apartment in the Bronx after she had contacted police about threats made against her. Her friends call her an angel on earth. Elena Esther Adam. Elena's body was found in July and listed as unclaimed. There is no information on her cause of death or the circumstances of her life. There is very little information about her personal life that is publicly available, but tonight we honor her memory. Mikkel Ray. Mikkel reportedly identified as non-binary. They died by suicide. There is very little information about their personal life that is publicly available, but tonight we honor their memory. Camden Ryder, age 21. Camden was shot by his partner in a murder-suicide while Camden was 8 months pregnant. Camden was from Orlando and he was looking forward to the birth of his first child. His family is reportedly not supportive of his transition to misgendered and dead-named him in social media posts. He had many interests, including travel, camping, art, music, and paranormal television shows.
Devani Jeray Johnson, age 28. Devani was shot and killed by a store security guard at the Rouse on Hollywood and Western. According to friends, Devani loved music, comedies, hanging with friends, and giving back to her community. Dolly Goins, age 27. Dolly's body was found in front of a used car lot. The cause of her death was not reported. Her family was reportedly not supportive of her identity, as she was repeatedly dead-named in the press by them. As such, there is very little information about her personal life that is publicly available, but tonight we honor her memory. Luis Angel Diaz Castro, age 22. Luis was murdered by his ex-partner, who has since been arrested. He worked in the educational field and was remembered for his love of Latino music.
Lovely Page, age 54. Lovely's body was found shot multiple times in the chest. There is no one in custody. There's very little information about her personal life that's publicly available, but we honor her memory tonight. Thomas Robertson, age 28. Thomas was a victim of a shooting that was targeted being someone else. Thomas was working as a cook at a local IHOP restaurant in East Chicago. Thomas was known for frequently changing hair color and styles and proudly showcasing them off by posting many photos online. Catherine Wheeler, age 35. Catherine died by suicide. There's very little information about her personal life that is publicly available, but tonight we honor her memory. Tree Kane. Tree died of suicide, and there's very little public information about their personal life that is publicly available. But tonight we honor their memory. Dakota Lawrence, age 25. Dakota died after being struck by a vehicle. The driver responsible surrendered to the police. Dakota's friend fiercely loved him and speak highly of him in every post, every comment, and more.
Breasia Banks. Breasia was reportedly murdered by her boyfriend. Breasia identified as non-binary and used she, her pronouns. She loved to dance, spend time with her siblings and cousins, and filled her social media with fashion, hair, and makeup posts. Charm Wilson, age 32. Charms died after being struck by a vehicle. The driver was taken into custody. It is not known if charges have been brought or whether the killing was intentional. She was interested in photography and art, and her friends speak of her vibrancy and enthusiasm, her tendency to embrace life with intensity.
Alexa Andreevna Sokova, age 34. Alexa was a model living in Florida who was found shot in a wooden area. Her roommate has been charged with the murder. Yoko, age 30. Yoko, an acronym for You Only Know One, was a visual artist and DJ. Yoko worked as a tattoo artist at Slanging Dat Inc. Born and raised in New Orleans, Yoko used they/them pronouns. Yoko's social media pages are filled with beautiful images of their own creation and others. Yoko died after their scooter was hit by an SUV. The driver failed to stop, but was arrested the following day.
Theodora Cassidy, aged 18. Theodora died by suicide. She is remembered for her love of the game Dungeons and Dragons and is missed dearly by her family and friends.
Erin Ezra Young, aged 24. Erin died by suicide. She was training as a counselor and was an activist who enjoyed writing, philosophy, and making music. She was smart and sarcastic, with a unique charisma and a desire to help those with the same problems she had faced.
Sherilyn Marjorie, age 35. Sherilyn was killed by a man she was involved with. He reportedly killed her because he did not want her to reveal their relationship to his family. Sherilyn was well loved by her local LGBTQ+ community, with friends organizing a drag tribute show, creating a roadside memorial, and organizing a car wash to pay for her funeral expenses.
Thank you, everyone. Let's just take a moment of silence. Thank you. Remember, one of our main purposes in life is to be the giver and receiver of love. That's why we're here. We're here to protect, support, guide, forgive, and heal one another. We hold sacred space for those souls that are no longer with us. I'm gonna close this out, right? I think this is the end, with a song I wrote. to honor. So I want to speak a few people's name into this space. I want to speak Leslie Monroy, who's a community member. I want to speak Octavia Hamlet, who's a community member. Simone Simmons, and Anthony Spencer. I had the opportunity to work with them and share space with them. They lend their stories to me for a film and a play that I did. The film is called In Full Bloom, Transcending Gender, and it's on Amazon Prime if you want to watch it. But I wrote a song called Thank You to honor their lives, so I'm gonna sing it tonight. You can put your hands together, you can stand up. It's the conclusion of the night. Turn me up. You mean so much to me. We made a dream reality. I'm so proud just to see you rise and shine. Stand tall, work hard, be strong, and let love be your guide. And all I wanna do is say thank you. And all I wanna do is say thank you. And all I wanna do is say thank you. And all I wanna do is say thank you. I was scared, insecurity got the best of me. Caught up in fear, false evidence appearing me. Your love and your life ignite a fire inside of me. And I came to believe in the power that's greater than me. So all I wanna do is say thank you. And all I wanna do is say thank you. And all I wanna do, thank you. And all I wanna do is say thank you. Listen, I'm grateful for what I've got, who I am and what I'm not. What another bouquet of flowers in full bloom, you're so inspiring. You put your trust in me and shared your gift unselfishly, courageously and willingly, with class and dignity. You're excited and mesmerizing, sexy and tantalizing. Here's wishing you all the best. Cheers to you, and God bless. All I wanna do is say thank you. And all I wanna do is say thank you. Come on, put your hands up. And all I wanna, stand up to your feet. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Say, this little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Say, this little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Say, this little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Say, this little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Say, this little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Say, this little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Thank you so much. As you go out into the universe again, into the world, be the representation of light, love, possibility, dreams. Keep us alive. Thank you.